What's good, YouTube? Hey, it's Mike. Today we got y'all with another video today. Today we have 10 improvised moments that made people break character. Um, we're about to see how y'all like this video today. We're trying new things out on this channel. Without further ado, shout out to Screen Rant for this video. I'm gonna make sure I link hit the full video from him in the video down below because I'm going to be pausing and stopping through the whole video. Without further ado, let's get into the video.
Improvised scenes are some of the most
Make sure y'all also subscribe to the video. Subscribe if you're new, and like and comment and share.
memorable moments in cinematic history. When an actor can think of something so iconic on the spot, it becomes the stuff of legend. But what about when the resulting improvisation results in someone on set breaking character? Well, that has happened before, often resulting in fits of laughter or confusion captured on camera. Before we get started, make sure you take a quick moment to click on that subscribe button. You'll join our notification squad and stay up to date with all of these types of videos and more. One more thing. Let's get started.
I appreciate you.
Harvey
Let's
Dent.
get into it.
I only have one question. Where is Harvey Dent?
The Dark Knight, Heath Ledger. Christopher Nolan's 2008 The Dark Knight will forever be studied, analyzed, and revered for its glorious perfection. And
did y'all hear that Heath Ledger had to go into a mental hospital after that series, bro? Like after he played the Joker, because that's how bad it made his brain. Like it made his brain that squishy and all. Oh my goodness.
and revitalization to the Batman franchise. There isn't much fans don't know about this film and what went into its creation. One of those things just might be how much of the film was actually improvised. Heath Ledger's infamous portrayal of the Joker was cause for most of the improvised moments, from the scene where the Joker starts clapping randomly in the jail scene to him fiddling with the detonator during the hospital explosion. But one of the best moments was when Rachel, played by Maggie Gyllenhaal, first meets the Joker. The Joker crashes Harvey Dent's party and comes face to
Why so serious?
face with Rachel. Rachel has a hard time looking at the Joker, and he even tells her to look at him.
Look at me.
The entire moment is tense and perfect, but the only acting happening was from Ledger. Maggie actually had never seen Ledger in full makeup till this point, and had a hard time looking at him, especially when he improvised the grabbing of her face. Luckily, Ledger stayed in character when Maggie
Bro, I would be like, I would have had to give him a 1-2 combo without a biscuit.
broke character, and it worked perfectly.
My swaggerless friend here, he really likes that shirt you have on.
Not entirely sure that this shirt would fit your friend.
It'll fit.
Fast and Furious 6, Dwayne Johnson. As with every release in the Fast and Furious franchise, the sixth installment is filled with bullet-flying showdowns, criminal masterminds bent on destruction, insane out-of-this-world car chase scenes, and wrecks, and so much more. So much action, death, and high-impact adrenaline camera work, there's definitely a need for some comedic relief.
That could have been my forehead, man.
That's not big as your forehead.
Nah, that's not as big as your forehead.
Tyrese Gibson, Ludacris, and Dwayne Johnson come into play. The reprisal of these hysterical characters brings the perfect amount of laughter with their stellar improv skills. In this moment, Hobbs, played by Dwayne, charges in the backyard to talk with Roman, played by Tyrese. Roman sees Hobbs and yells out to Mia,
Oh my goodness. Oh, when I first saw this, I damn near pissed myself in the movie theater. I didn't know this was scripted. That's crazy.
Better hide your baby, or I'm just playing. You better
I said scripted. They had to break character. They broke character.
hide that big ass forehead. I was just joking. Whatever.
Oh my goodness.
Dwayne completely ad-libbed the line, trying to break their characters,
Just
and
flame
succeeded.
the bitch.
It ended up making it into the final cut of the movie because of the obvious hilarity. This is not the first improvised moment, and won't be
Hey, RP to my guy Paul Walker.
the last. The entire cast and crew believe the film is never complete without some back-and-forth improv banter.
Good evening. This is the weekend edition of WBC News at 6:30. I'm Ron Burgundy.
And I'm Veronica Corningstone.
Anchorman 2, Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell is a comedic legend. He's revered throughout the industry and emulated by others constantly. His out-of-this-world, controlled, bonkers persona causes unstoppable hilarity to ensue with viewers. He first started comedy learning improv at the Groundlings Improv School in Los Angeles, California. So
You gotta go to improv school to learn improv. I thought you had, even if you go to, so how about if you go to like, if your high school has, like, you go to an academy for it, like your academy has, like, in the school.
It's only natural that a lot of what he does on camera is improvised. And when you have a film which is mainly improvised, there are sure to be moments where actors playing alongside him will break character.
I mean, that really got out of hand.
But I can't. But if I'm an actor near Tyrese, Martin Lawrence, Ice Cube, Chris Tucker, bro, even Will Ferrell, I'm breaking character every time. I'm fired, bro. I'm being fired, bro.
Fast.
Such as in the beginning scene of Anchorman 2. Will begins to warm up his voice in preparation for giving the news on live TV. His co-anchor, played by Christina Applegate, sits next to him and does her own preparations. But Ferrell's absurd warming up practices becomes too much for Christina to handle, and her character would break out in laughter every time.
Grab the children! Save the children!
Her character is not supposed to smile at this, as it's a regular routine, and she should be used to it, but she just can't help herself. They tried several takes, and the one which ended up being in the film was the best one.
Grab the children! Save the children!
Even then, you can see her face holding back a smile and smirks the whole way through.
I'm Ron Burgundy. You stay classy, San Diego.
X-Men First Class, Hugh
X-Men,
Jackman.
okay.
In the 2011 film X-Men First Class, directed by Matthew Vaughn,
If y'all seen X-Men, what do y'all think the best X-Men was? I say the first ever X-Men. First ever X-Men.
the character Wolverine,
Where all the OGs was on it.
played by Hugh Jackman, appears roughly for a mere 20 seconds. He delivers only one line, but that one line was not only the funniest moment in the film, but was also improvised. In this scene, Wolverine sits at a bar smoking a stogie. A young Magneto and young Xavier walk in to pitch their idea for what would later become the X-Men. Hugh Jackman improvises an infamous line.
Excuse me, I'm Eric Lensher.
Sounds like Xavier.
Go f yourself.
The actors break
Oh
character,
my goodness.
stunned by what Jackman just said. They don't know what to say and turn around and just walk out. They went to reset to do the scene again, but the director and producers loved it so much, they kept it in the film. It wasn't just the vulgar language and gut-punching delivery Jackman used which threw the actors.
Wow, he told them to go F themselves, and then they left.
It wasn't just the vulgar language and gut-punching delivery Jackman used which threw the actors. This was also the first time in the Marvel movie history an F-bomb was dropped. We're just glad the X-Men First Class team was able to convince the Marvel franchise to allow this. Otherwise, this gem of an improvised moment would have been lost to the cutting room floor.
We gotta add.
This game, you're not ready for it.
Who's doing the shooting?
Saving Private Ryan. Saving Private Ryan was one heck of a serious film,
yeah.
full of sadness,
Hell of a film.
despair, and yes, hope.
Hell of a film.
The opening
I
beach
said,
scene
if
is
you
considered by
haven't
many
seen
to be
this,
the
you got
most
to.
accurate depiction of war on film.
You got to
We're
see
inclined
it.
to believe. That scene was intense. But where, in this powerful World War II epic, is there room for improvised scenes that got a reaction out of the cast? The answer to that comes toward the end of the film, before the final battle plays out. The team, led by Tom Hanks' Captain Miller, has finally found the missing Private Ryan, and are held up in a small French village. With the Germans hot on their tails, the team prepares, and then takes a moment to just relax, something they seriously needed. During this scene, Matt Damon's Private Ryan tells them a story of home and of his brothers, all of whom have died on D-Day. The scene in question is about a girl, brotherly love, and burning down a barn. It's a lengthy scene, and it's entirely
This shit would make a grown man cry.
improvised.
At the same time, he picks up a shovel and he's going after Sean. And Sean's saying, "What are you trying to hit me for? I just did you a favor."
But his and Tom Hanks' laughter over Damon's deceptions of the girl in question were also completely genuine, and gave the film a much-needed moment of levity before things got serious again.
People say I talk too much.
Yeah, I was just gonna tell you to shut up.
The Usual Suspects.
I
Whether
haven't
you've
seen
seen The
this.
Usual Suspects or not, you're more than likely familiar with the famous lineup scene. It's on all the covers and posters for the film, and it's also the image for director Bryan Singer's production company. So many of his X-Men films open up with that image. So what makes this scene so memorable in a film full of twists and turns? Well, for one, the scene was supposed to be entirely serious. After 5 criminals get arrested on suspicion of a truck hijacking job, they find themselves in the lineup waiting to be identified by someone behind the glass. The actors kept delivering the lines in a serious manner,
Hand me the keys, you sucker.
until Bryan Singer said, "Forget it," and unleashed the actors. Screenwriter Christopher McQuarrie of Mission Impossible fame is actually the cop reading out the lines, and the bizarre actions and ensuing laughter is all off book. Gabrielle Byrne, who played Keaton, actually ended up, how should we say it, releasing gas during the scene, which caused further laughter on camera, while Benicio del Toro ended up showing signs of frustration, and Stephen Baldwin's unhinged line delivery made this scene instantly iconic.
Knock it off, get back.
Wow, they are
The little idiosyncrasies that only I know about.
interesting people.
That's what made her my
Wow, but I gotta watch this.
wife.
Good Will Hunting. Good Will Hunting was a huge success, both financially and critically. It garnered over $225 million against a budget of $10 million, and won
$200 million from a budget that had $10 million. That's crazy.
of its 9 Oscar nominations, one for Robin Williams for Best Actor, and another for Best Screenplay, which Ben Affleck and Matt Damon picked up. Not a bad list of achievements, but despite how well the film did, everyone seems to remember one thing when it comes to the film. The late, great Robin Williams was considered to be a master of improvisation. In almost every film he worked on, he was able to let loose and create memorable moments on screen. Everything from Aladdin to Good Morning Vietnam were full of iconic moments that weren't in the script.
Rockman, haven't seen you in a few millennia.
That's some legend type shit. He's a Hall of Famer for that.
Yeah, give me some tassel. Ha! Yo, yo.
Good Will Hunting is no exception. In the funniest scene in the film, Williams' character, Sean McGuire, is psychoanalyzing Will Hunting, and the two characters end up just talking.
My wife used to fart when she was nervous. She had all sorts of wonderful little idiosyncrasies. You know, she used to fart in her sleep.
Damon was so taken aback from this random comment that he ended up bursting into hysterics on camera. Williams, obviously enjoying himself, also ended up laughing through his story.
Mary, I'm warning you, okay? I'm gonna have to get physical. I mean it. This is it. I'm gonna...
Shaun of the Dead. Baby Driver was the surprise smash hit of 2017, being a huge financial success and a massive critical one at the same time. The film was all about style, but it wasn't as funny as director Edgar Wright's earlier films. For that, you have to go back to the cult classic, Shaun of the Dead. The buddy rom-com set during the zombie apocalypse starred Simon Pegg and Nick Frost in roles that would make them instant stars. Of course, in a film like this, there are plenty of moments to flex your improvisation skills, and that's exactly what Nick Frost did during the film. To cheer Sean up, who had recently broken up with his girlfriend, Nick starts telling fabled tales of some of the patrons at their local pub. He informs Sean that an elderly lady in fact used to be an adult actress.
Suicidal maniac.
And Simon Pegg's reaction to this tale is entirely genuine. Pegg can't keep it together and breaks out into a fit of laughter, which of course fit the scene perfectly and made it to the final cut. We wouldn't have it any other way.
Skis, huh?
That's right.
Great. They yours?
Dumb and Dumber. You just knew that with a list like
Oh my goodness, yeah, you just knew with Dumb and Dumber, bro. Oh my goodness.
this, a film like Dumb and Dumber was gonna be on it. How could it not, with the likes of Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels spewing
my
nonsense for the
goodness.
entire runtime? But despite all the jokes, gags, and improvised moments in the film, neither lead were the ones to break character due to their antics. The dynamic duo star as Lloyd Christmas and Harry Dunn, two friends with an incredibly low intelligence, but kind-hearted nonetheless. They embark on a road trip to Aspen, Colorado to give a forgotten briefcase back to its owner. But of course, a simple task will end up causing them lots of problems as they're chased across the country. While driving along, they spot a hitchhiker and end up offering him a lift. But the duo just can't play it cool for long. Quickly, the pair starts arguing with the hitchhiker sitting in between them. Actor Harland Williams wasn't prepared for the level of annoying he was getting himself into. You can visibly see him getting frustrated before snapping and screaming at the two characters.
Lloyd! Lloyd! You guys! Enough!
Bro, if I'm between them two, bro, I'm taping their mouth shut.
Only, he was actually screaming at Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels, for real. The leads were silent for only a few moments before Jim Carrey unleashed the most annoying sound in the world.
Guys!
Sound in the world.
Guys!
Poor guy. The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. When it comes to fantasy epics, The Lord of the Rings will no doubt go down as one of the best ever made. Offering plenty of action, adventure, drama, and huge battles, Lord of the Rings had something for everyone, which is probably why it did so well at the box office and at the Oscars. Everyone wins. Well, except Viggo Mortensen, that is. In the second entry of the series, Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli are chasing down a pack of Uruks that have taken their hobbit friends captive. Hot on their trail, they run non-stop, only to learn that the Uruks in question were killed in the night by the riders of Rohan, led by none other than Carl Urban. Believing their friends to be dead, the trio investigate the carnage. Furious and distraught when Gimli discovers a hobbit belt, Aragorn kicks one of the armored helmets. Not a good idea. That scream, that was not scripted. As it turns out, Viggo kicked it so hard that he actually broke his toe, causing him to react in a manner that's both bone-chilling and appropriate for the scene.
Wow.
Thankfully, his reaction was deemed
That's
perfect
crazy.
for the scene, and Viggo...
Imagine you kicked a helmet, a metal helmet. That shit's metal as fuck. You break your toe and you go down screaming because you broke it, and they really think that you mad because that. That's crazy. But shout out to Screen Rant for the video. And I'm gonna make sure I link his video down below. And make sure y'all go sub to him. Make sure y'all sub to me if y'all new. But without further ado, it's been Mike. It's been real. Peace.